biggest draw win we've ever had in our entire careers.
Yeah.
Greatest game I might have
Most
seen.
exciting game.
Most exciting game.
Most exciting.
Yo,
definitely.
Ian Paul Joy was jacked up. He's like, what am I watching right now?
He said this is like the greatest 3 minutes.
Yeah, like he's like.
It was exciting.
When we were down 3-0, I thought it was over.
It was like, oh, this sucks, bro. Like, what is wrong with our team? And then you started feeling that build of momentum. We're like, okay, this is the squad we know. This is the championship caliber team. Welcome to the 14th episode of the City Boys Show. Crazy time. Usually I introduce it. I'm Javier, Danny, Buzz. We're recording this right after the game, so everybody's feeling amped up. Even though it's a tie, it feels like a win right now.
The Cincy game we're talking about. We're recording maybe an hour after we just finished watching that. Biggest draw win we've ever had in our entire careers.
Yeah.
Greatest game I might have
Most
seen.
exciting game.
Most exciting game.
Most exciting.
Yo,
Definitely.
Ian Paul Joy was jacked up. He's like, what am I watching right now? It was crazy.
Before we scored the third goal, I think he said this is like the greatest 3 minutes.
Yeah, like he's like.
It was exciting.
So for anybody who hasn't watched the game, it was a 4-4 draw at the end at Cincinnati. But the reason it was so crazy is we started off the game down 3-0.
3-0. We lost Chanot on the 24th minute. We had Hawk in there. We already didn't have Thati starting.
Hack.
Sorry, Hack. You know, I can't pronounce
part of your- it's
anyone's
part of your
name.
shtick.
And that means he's been ingrained in the team because Danny already mispronounced your name. Welcome to the club.
So Hack was in for Chanot, 24th minute. We're down by 3 goals, 30th minute. We don't have Thati. We don't have Santi. We found out Parks is getting surgery, so he's going to be out for a minute.
Yeah.
Tinnerholm was out there taking care of his baby. Congratulations, Tinnerholm.
Yes,
Big
congrats.
Tinnerholm.
And
Beautiful baby.
I hope you get some PFL. I know I'm going to be using my PFL in a month. Paid family leave, if anybody doesn't know. You'll get 50% of your salary. It's going to be worth it. Just take the time. Good luck.
I mean,
Well, no, do we really want him to take the time?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we
it
need
just-
You don't take the time. Javi will take the time.
We
Yeah,
need you to.
exactly. Especially with the way Gray's been playing lately. Ooh, but we'll talk
about that,
later.
yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But you know, when we were down 3-0, I thought it was over. Originally, I thought it was over. We looked at the FanDuel bet. Chances of NYCFC winning were plus 6,000, which is
For
insane.
you novice bettors out there, that means $100 would have paid us $6,000 if we had taken that.
Well, they would have lost.
And I
They
think
would've- right,
you're
no,
right.
no,
would've been very
no,
exciting.
but I think the draw was plus 3,000 too.
Oh, they would have won $3,000.
So-
We could take that money. But talking about the 3 goals, I mean, we got to get into how we gave up those 3 goals early on.
That was tough.
Sean Johnson, the first goal.
That was a rough one. Sean Johnson, I forget. Give us the play-by-play because I forget exactly how it went
Sean
down.
Johnson has possession of the ball. He goes to...
Oh, yeah,
Clear it.
horrible pass.
I guess you want to call it a pass. It's not even a clearance.
Yeah, because, I mean, he was just passing. I didn't even think he had a defender, like, close on him. So he had
Yeah,
time to pass it, and it was just straight to the defender.
Well, straight to the forward, actually. I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
It was 2
Straight to
passes
Cosby.
and they were in.
Yeah.
You know? He did not have his best performance in the first half, that's for sure.
No, that's for sure. He definitely made up for it in the second half.
Yes,
I
he
think.
did.
I don't know. I know at one point he had 5 saves in the second half. I don't know how much he ended up with at the end of the game, but yeah, it was a brutal first half, I would say, for him. But we did lose Chanot early in that game.
Mm-hmm.
After that 24th minute goal, Alfredo Morales was playing out of position. We just had Justin Hack and just kind of on the field, first time with the starters really this season. So it did play an impact on. You can't just solely blame Sean Johnson. We basically had new defenders out there, like a whole new back line at this point.
Yeah, and not only that, but there were 2 shots made in a few minutes by Brenner, right? The 24th minute, the 30th minute. But between those 2 shots, there were like 2 shots that were disallowed. There was one where the ball was considered out of bounds.
Right.
And there
Which it wasn't.
It was out
The
of
whole
bounds.
ball was not clear.
Uh,
The entire ball has to be past the line.
definitely was past the line. I had my NYCFC goggles on, and it was definitely past the line.
I'm pretty sure Ian said it was not, and I trust him over you.
Okay, well, luckily it worked out for us.
Yes, that was the first one.
And then I forgot the second, the offsides.
The clear offside.
Oh no, but that was later in the game.
That was later in
That
the
was later
game,
in the
yeah.
game. But point is, we could have been down more, and it was just, and not only that. So we're down 3-0. Brenner scored those 2 goals.
Right.
Then we get the penalty kick. You think we're gonna turn it all around?
Down 3-0
Yeah,
at the time.
Down 3-0.
We got it for a handball, right?
We got
Correct.
it for a handball. And your man's Maxi Morales thinks he's going to turn it around. 5 for 11 in penalty kicks last year, I think. Or just in the, it was the
no,
NYCFC
his
career.
His career. He
Well,
didn't-
it might have been his last 11 shots. Well, that's probably
Probably
yeah,
his
MLS
his
career.
MLS
Yeah.
career. But
Right.
granted, that's not including the playoffs from last year,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
he made 2 last year. But yeah, 5 for 11 in penalty shots, and he decides to take it. I couldn't see from what we were watching on the footage. Did it look like Hebed was trying to take the ball, or did it look like Hebed wanted to take that shot?
So I just want to say, Danny, you and I, we went to the Kansas City game.
I think it was this game against in City Field. I think
Yes,
it was
Kansas
City.
I checked after we
okay,
mentioned
okay.
it. And in that game, if you guys remember, we get a penalty kick. And Danny sees Maxi walk up to go take this. And Danny instantly was saying, no, please don't. Javi actually texts us. You weren't at the game.
Yeah, I wasn't at the game
But
with that one.
Javi didn't want him to take it either. Heber, takes it, scores it. And even after in the post-conference, he was happy. He actually showed gratitude to Maxi for giving him the chance to build his confidence.
Mm-hmm.
What happened from that game to tonight? I saw clearly Heber step on the line on the penalty spot. Maybe he was just giving Maxi confidence.
Yeah.
But I thought that was also a nice point for Maxi to turn around and let Heber take it.
I really think the morale was super low on the team. Maxi's a veteran on this team, and he said, we're going to make this shot. I'm going to boost morale. But Maxi does everything well.
Right. Good point.
Except for be 6 feet tall and penalty kicks. And I think, everything worked out in the end. I don't know. You can't say we would have won this game if we would have made that penalty kick, 'cause we don't know how everything else would have worked out.
Yeah.
But at that point, the morale was at the lowest.
Yeah.
And it's like we finally had a chance. We finally could have turned this around. We missed that penalty kick, and you thought it was over.
But now let's talk about the resilience for a second.
Yeah.
That makes morale. When that happened, before he kicked it, I said, if he doesn't make this is going to be the absolute worst, like the rock bottom.
Yeah.
And we responded.
No, it was crazy. That we had that who was it? Magno.
Yes, Talos
Magno
Magno.
started beautiful.
What a kick!
Mm-hmm.
He had the back kick, whoop, right in there. So
It-
that started us off in the 45th minute. Then we thought, okay, 1-3 going into the half. At that point, we're feeling pretty good.
We're feeling pretty good at 1-3.
I mean,
oh.
we'll take it. It honestly could have been like 5-1 at that point.
Absolutely.
There were so many shots that could have been made. But then, so then in 45th minute, with 2 minutes in stoppage time, Hebed with a header from a beautiful assist from Maxi.
Yes.
What'd you guys make of that?
Well, that was the third goal, right?
No, I thought the third goal was the. Oh no, yeah, no,
Heber,
the
that
Maxi cross.
laser header. So before that one,
that was the one where Maxi had. Or I don't know if it was
Free
Maxi
kick.
or Alfred Morales, but
was
it
a
was
free-
like that beautiful through pass.
Oh,
to the
right,
goal
right,
on the
right.
left.
Oh, that was lovely. Too.
Yeah,
Hebed
that
had
was
a great
beautiful.
season.
A
great
game. He could have had 3 goals
Yes.
in the first half.
Yes. Yeah. So that was the first beautiful pass.
Yep.
Beautiful pass. Beautiful shot by Hebe.
Yep.
It is nice. I love Tati, but Tati doesn't have the finish Hebe has. Hebe's always had that beautiful finish.
Whoa, talking controversial
Alright.
now, buddy. Okay, how many Trulies you got there, buddy?
Boy.
One game without Tati. Wait, can we circle back on the Tati conversation? Now, do we think he was actually injured? What was the sources saying? Like, why wasn't he in this game?
So supposedly he had an illness, and they didn't put him on the injury report that came out earlier today.
They also didn't put Keaton Parks. It's feeling like that injury report is useless at this point.
Yeah, good point, because Keaton Parks actually has like a serious surgery.
Yeah.
And he's off it. But they said that they didn't put Tati on it because there was a chance that he could fly out.
Gotcha.
And now they're saying there's a chance that he could fly out for Sunday's game if he's feeling better. I don't know what the illness is. They didn't report that.
Wait, fly out. We're gonna be at home on Sunday.
But I think
He's not home.
he's not in New York right now.
He's not. This does not add up.
Well, that makes sense, though,
really
right? Because
same.
where would he be? Wouldn't he have been training in New York?
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense to me. Where is he right now? Europe, maybe?
Oh!
Taking a little Euro
Well,
trip?
physical? Getting a physical?
I don't know what the true story is, but this is where, like, something's a little funny here. Okay, he's not feeling sick. He should be home. Of course, he should be on Sunday then, right? We got a game against Atlanta at Yankee Stadium. Where is he? Well, according to Anthony, he didn't make the trip. They were hoping on that he would actually make the trip.
That's true. Okay.
Let me see who our source was.
Yeah, but even if he did make the trip, it's weird that I don't know. I just find it a little strange.
Yeah.
And that he might have to make a trip back home. I don't know the source. I don't know what the full story is. But I guess it'll be interesting to see what happens on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, it was our favorite podcast, the Blue Balls podcast. Said Nick Cushing says Tati Castellanos' illness was left off the injury report.
I like to say that Nick Cushing also said that Kean Park's injury was a little niggle. That was the word that was used.
That was the verbiage used?
Yes, and now he's getting surgery. So camera one, because it's the only camera we have, NYCFC. Can we get a little bit more transparency on the injury reports? I feel like we're always left out of the loop until the lineup comes out.
Well, since we're
A few
asking,
minutes
No, but I
into the
find it
game.
interesting because it's not like Glenn Crooks or Roberto also know or Ian Paul Joy because they don't even mention these things either till they find out.
That's what I'm saying. Communication would be very nice from the organization to the media so we can report it to the fans. It just seems like that seems to not be a strong suit of the team, and I think if they can get a little better with the injury reports, that would be nice.
if we're putting together a Christmas list of things that we want, maybe our coach, Mr. Cushing, could also get some emotion. How about that? That'd be nice to see on the sideline.
I don't even care for emotions. How about a W?
Yeah. Actually, I'll take the. Yes, you're right, Javi. I'd rather take that W.
But let's circle back to the actual game.
Yep.
So going to the second half, it's tied 3-3.
Can you believe it? 3-3.
It was
at the half?
insane.
That's
insane. Like the craziest first half we've seen. 54th minute. Perea.
Wow.
Woo! Rocket to the left side of the goalpost, right in. No goalkeeper could stop that. We were talking about it. It's like the perfect strike. You can't stop it.
Upper corner.
Yeah.
But more impressive than the shot was the dribbling that he did. He did that all on his own.
Oh, yeah. It's like none of the defenders stepped up to him.
Yep.
They thought he was going to pass it or something. And he just like, all right, you're going to give me the space. I'm going to just hit a rocket to the goal.
I called it last podcast, guys. I think
did say
I
it.
think Pereira is the truth.
You did.
I think he plays a true right wing position, and he's deadly when he wants to attack. When he wants to, but what I love is that that's not his like first choice.
Yeah.
And God, that was such a beautiful kick.
It was beautiful, and we went nuts. I mean, we were going nuts. Your
Yeah.
neighbors are probably not happy with us right now, but it was exciting to go up and not only go up, but go up in that fashion.
So the Yes Network had an interesting stat. It was 4 goals in 13 minutes and 44 seconds.
Change, yeah.
Wow.
That's insane. It was such a turnaround because honestly, those first like 30 minutes or whenever they started scoring, it was like, oh, this sucks, bro. Like, what is wrong with our team? And then you started feeling that build of momentum. We're like, okay, this is the squad we know. This is the championship caliber team that we like. But yeah, so it was great to see us come back. Obviously, then Brenner scores a goal on the 70th minute, ties the game. But it still feels like a W for us because we were down 3-0 on the road.
Not only that, but in like the last 10 minutes of the game, Cincinnati, they're all the same to us. But Cincinnati kept trying to score, and Sean Johnson had to save us a few times out there. So, I mean, he made up for the way he played in the first half. But not only that, but we had that chance again with the handball. I'm not sure what minute that was.
Just outside the box, right?
Just outside the box.
Where Maxi did
Yeah.
Maxi, you're annoying me. But he had great passes today,
He
so
did
I
have
can't
great
even
passes.
hate on him. But
I think Pereira could have made the shot again in that left corner.
I would
so
have
that
liked
would
to
have
have
been
seen him
nice.
take
yeah, I would have liked to see him take that shot because you got to remember Goody had that deadliness in him too. So we could get a replacement for Goody at those kicks, those free kicks. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I just wanted to say though, like when the injury came, I mean we're used to injuries at this point. I mean, right? Injuries and these lineups that we're putting out there. I was impressed with Hack.
Yeah.
They gave him another. I can't believe it. Like we touch a guy, we get a yellow card. The other team tackles us, beats us up, and they get no cards except in the second half. But he came in and he held it down in the middle for us.
Yeah, I thought Hack played tremendous. I mean, he made his presence known out there.
Yeah.
He did get that one yellow card that was super soft.
Oh my goodness.
But he made his presence known, and I think with that performance, you may start to see him become an everyday starter or something along those lines because he brought that energy we needed.
So, question on that. So, we've seen Acevedo and Morales play in the middle, and hopefully Chanel comes back.
Yeah.
And then, do you play Acevedo and Morales in the middle and it hasn't been going so well, or do you start starting Hack? Do you think Hack's a starter, I guess, is the question.
I think it may be early for him to be a starter, but I think he's showing the signs of he's progressed enough to become eventually a starter.
Yeah. I would like to see him more as a sub in games, but more of him at least.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think you start him off as a stub, see how he keeps performing. This was a great performance, obviously, from him. But if we can keep seeing him grow, then okay, now we can lead up to maybe a starting role.
Yeah.
And to a point, Javi, you had earlier where you thought you saw 5 saves by Sean Johnson in the second half. We gave up 3 goals. We had no saves in the first half, and we had 5 in the second half. So he ended the game with 5 saves.
Insane.
That's insane.
And those 5 saves were big in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Do we think Perea should now be an everyday starter?
You know, the problem is that I think Santi is so talented. And so it feels like a waste to not have Santi out there. So maybe I'm going to take back what I just said.
Okay.
You put Pereira on the right, you keep Maxi on the 10, but then you play you play
back at the
Santi
6.
at the 10, and maybe you play Maxi where Parks was playing.
At the 6.
Yeah.
Remember when he was playing at the 6 and he played well?
Yeah, and he played well. So maybe we can do that. I know, and I think, before our beloved Dyla left, he was like, I think Maxi could play the 6 and Santi could play together, but I don't think Maxi at the 10th and Santi on the right has been working. And I also think it might be limiting his growth because, as we've seen, Pereira lately has been like not doing the touches that he can, the passes that he can, and I think it's because he's been playing that position. So maybe if he goes back to the 10, get some, learns from Maxi, he can be the distributor that we all hope he can be one day. So that's my thought behind it. Because the problem is that Maxi's too good to not play, and Santi's too good to not play, but where Santi's playing, he's not playing well. So what do? Do you move Maxi, or do you just keep alternating them in games? But do they stay in form? I don't know.
I would say I like your idea of putting Maxi in the 6 next to Alfredo and give Santi that chance to see if he could do it in the 10 role.
You don't think we'll end up in a defensive liability? We're already pretty bad on defense.
Maybe because, I don't know. When Dahlia said that he thinks Maxi could do it as long as he could keep making those runs because he has to play defense, I love Alfredo.
I'll say we might not even have an option anymore. Now that Parks is gone. I mean, granted, Justin Hack showed he could play the 6, but now that Parks is injured, well, we do need someone back there, right? And we've seen the Alfredo Acevedo connection. It just doesn't flow as fluently as we would like.
Yeah.
So maybe you need Morales back there. You put Santi there, and now you have that right wing position open for a more natural right winger, such as Perea. Or is he play right wing or left wing?
Right wing. We had this conversation last time.
Yeah, that's always messes me up. Right wing or Thiago at the right wing position, where they're more natural in that position, and we see Santi struggle in that position.
Yeah.
So, and then with the addition of Tinnerholm playing right back, and then you can have them come over the top, Tinnerholm, who we know is an effective right back, I think it could be a huge impact.
Yeah,
and that leads us back to our conversation. Well, we didn't get to talk about this because there was a game in between, but Tinnerholm came back against Philly. I thought, first of all, Cushing subbing in for Tinnerholm and Amundsen in the second half of that game was much needed because we were struggling really badly against Philly in that first half, and they brought that spark we needed. So how you feel about Tinnerholm being back, Buzz?
Yeah, first of all, I'm excited because I almost forgot how good he was.
He's so good.
You know, like
Yeah.
he's a really good, right back. And I'll tell you, in that game when they subbed him in, something changed in that game against Philly. We had energy, the
Yeah.
spark that you mentioned.
Exactly.
It was really, it was exciting as a fan to see him out there.
Yeah.
But it was exciting to see the team responding to him as well.
Yeah, and he's the reason we got that goal.
Yeah, the
Right.
handball. He and that's what I'm saying. He brought something like that we've been lacking. It was like, okay, I'm gonna push in. I'm not just gonna stay on the outside of the on the offense. I'm gonna push in, and you're gonna have to come to me. So then we're gonna open up that middle a little
That's a
more.
good point.
And that's what we've been lacking
Yeah.
from our backs. And Tinnerholm brings it. He'll drive into that goal and make you come to him. And then that's how we got the handball. But so if you didn't see the Philly versus NYCFC game, we still lost 2-1, but I thought it was a big comeback in the second half. But one thing I thought, it was like this rivalry has grown a lot. I think it started from last year's playoffs where Philly felt like they should have won if their team didn't have COVID. And it's kind of the intensity has been brought into this year's season. What do you think of that rivalry? Is that becoming even better than maybe the Red Bulls?
I'm giving Danny the credit for this rivalry. I personally saw Danny create this rivalry, okay? Danny made sure every Philly fan last year at that playoff game in Subaru Park knew that we were there to win, and when we won, Danny gently reminded them. So I think right now it is the biggest rivalry. I still think the derby with the Red Bulls is the
Yeah.
biggest, but the animosity is definitely bigger. Although at the end of that Red Bull game too,
There was some heated fights going on.
yeah, and even headbutts.
Yeah, and we got red cards all over the place. So it's, I think as newer fans, I would say we're you've been there since day one, but as newer fans for us, we've seen more intense battles with Philly than we've seen with Red Bulls.
And not only that, but Philly's been good.
Yeah.
Like we're playing for Philly consistently for first place in the Eastern Division.
Red Bulls will beg to differ that they still beat us every time, though. And I don't like to agree, but they have a better record against us.
Yeah, no, that's true. But
we have more cups than them.
Exactly. I don't know if I fear the Red Bulls as much as I like playing the Red Bulls. I love that intensity.
Yeah.
But the Phillies is a strong team, and I think this year the Red Bulls are high in the division. But I feel like consistently we've seen Philly on top of the division, and we keep playing for each other and playing against each other, and really like quality games. Sometimes I think the Red Bulls play a little dirty, and I think that's how they get these W's against us consistently. So I do like the rivalry a lot against Philly. I don't know. I'm gonna punk out and say I think it's equal right now.
Yeah, I feel like New England was up there, and then like this season, I just feel that Philly animosity, and just like going into their house and feeling their horrible fans. It's just like I hate those guys.
Yeah.
I do too, but the one thing they have that I love is that stadium.
I don't want to talk
yeah,
about
that's
that, bro.
not-
Old
that's not-
facility.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
It only
Right
holds
on the
2
water.
people on each bathroom, though. You get 7 people gotta go to the bathroom. You're gonna be online
Yes,
for
no,
27 minutes.
Yankees got that updated facility. We might not be able to see the game, but we could pee correctly, bro.
Wait. Question back to the 4-4 draw against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
We got a draw, but we were down.
Yeah.
Do you give any credit to the resiliency to Cushing?
No.
Or do you feel any differently about Cushing after this game?
No, he didn't do anything tonight. I don't.
Didn't even react.
Yeah, I mean, there was. I think your beautiful wife said that there was a fist pump after the third goal. That was the magnitude of
but
it.
We're not judging him by how his emotions on the game. So yeah, he could be stoic and maybe not show as much emotions, but should we judge him by that? Probably not.
Probably we should.
I'm gonna agree. I'm not gonna say judge him, right? I don't think judge is a strong word, but I do think this team is full of Hispanics, and we wear our emotions on our sleeves. We're passionate. We're strong. I think you kind of bring a little bit of the morale down when you're just like, good job. What I mean? We ain't looking for a Bill Belichick here, man. We're looking for someone who, that's what I loved about Dyla. You could tell the passion of his play every time a goal scored. He was as happy as the players. So did I love how stoic he was on the sideline? I did not. I hope that's not his coaching style. I'm hoping it was just that he's just like, I'm gonna get fired if we lose this game. So I'm scared.
I think that's part of it. Just like you said, I mean, the pressure's on him right now. We're 0-3 in the last 3 matches since he's, well, now 1-3.
Yeah.
So he's got to be feeling the pressure. You know what I mean? He's just taken over as head coach. It's hard to be overly excited when your team's already conceived 3 goals. You know what I mean? Like,
Wait, I think we're 0-2 under him.
No.
2 draws. We lost against the Red Bull, and then we lose to Philly.
Yeah.
So that's 2 losses. He said 0-1-3.
Oh,
It
yeah.
should be
So
0 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses.
no, 0 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw.
2 draws. We drew tonight, and we drew in the first game with him. Didn't we have the first game? If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I thought it was we tied against Colorado. We lost against the Red Bull. We lost against Philly, and we drew against Cincinnati.
You
yeah,
know what
so
it was? It was that loss against Colorado.
So think about it now,
Yeah.
Javi. You're taking over the first place team, right? We're firing on all cylinders, and you're coming out with already 2 losses and a draw, and staring at a 3-0 deficit.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally would be very depressed at that moment.
Yeah.
But and I would even forgive him for that. But the second we pumped life into that game, or the players did, I think he should take that and show them, like, we're alive, we're here. Maybe he did on the sidelines in halftime, I don't know. But I like people that wear their emotions on their sleeve. I do it. We do it.
Yeah.
One thing I would say is it's not like he's significantly changed the game plan. Like, if there was a completely different squad out there that we were like, whoa, this isn't the team we won with, I don't think that's the case. If the lineup changed significantly, if the way the formation we were playing was so different,
That's
then
a
I would
good point.
think, yeah, you have a right to go against them. But I don't think we've seen that. I think we've seen the same type of philosophy continue to grow. Granted, are players maybe as disciplined as they were again with Dyla as head coach? Probably not. There's still time for them to become. I don't know. I just feel like he hasn't had enough time there for us to judge him.
Yeah. And I'll say that there was, complaints about Ronnie, right, when he first took over. It's not an easy gig, right? Being a head coach of any team for any sports, it's not easy, right? So now that I'm I want to give him the chance. I mean, I was very upset, before we scored our first goal. Mm-hmm. I'm just feeling like we need a shot in the arm or something. Mm-hmm. So I think you're being level-headed right now, Javi, and probably makes sense. But I'll just say I want to see something. I want to see. Remember, Ronnie had injuries. We had injuries the whole season.
Yeah.
So you could also give Cushing another pass and say, well, he's got players hurt, players on, paternity leave, Yeah,
exactly.
There's a lot of stuff, but we had some dicey lineups under Dahlia this year, and we won.
Yeah. And I think the last thing that I didn't mention earlier was, I love Hebe. And Hebe's out there and I think he played well today. Mm-hmm. And I think I know Tati's amazing. I know they don't work well together, but I want to see more Hebe out there, man. And I think now that he's I know the past games he hasn't played, but he has had no minutes. And seeing him play, I just think I do believe he has the best finishing on the team. And I know he doesn't have the same maybe speed as Tati. He doesn't have the same technique as Tati.
He doesn't have that flair either.
He doesn't have the flair either. But I just love Hebe out there, man. I think he just has a quality of finish, and it's something that we lack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because even Talles Magno, who's amazing at everything, the one thing he lacks is finishing. And so I don't know, man. I want to see more Hebe out there.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it on the show. I think mainly you've said it. His heading ability is just phenomenal. And that was a laser beam today.
And I think you will see Hebed, unfortunately, because Tati will leave us. Who knows where he was tonight? But, so sadly, you probably will see more Hebed, as you like. So let's see if you feel that way in a couple weeks, in a couple months. We'll see. But let's move on. We're going to have our game against Atlanta on Sunday, 5 p.m., according to Danny's statistics here that he wrote for me, they're 5-4-6. He's been drinking, so I don't know how accurate that is. They're 11th in the standings. What do we think is the keys to win this matchup?
Caveat: 5-4-6 as of Wednesday night. Tomorrow they play the Red Bulls. So
Okay.
tomorrow I am an Atlanta United fan.
Yes.
And hope they go 6-4-6. But they are 11th in the standing. I think they have the same. I mean, they haven't been really scoring a lot of goals. I was looking up their scores. A goal a game. But they're 11th in the standings. They do have Josef Martinez and they do have Luis Araujo. I hope I'm saying that right. Probably not. And the question is, can our backline stop them? Like, as we know, I don't know if we're gonna have Chanot on Sunday.
Yeah.
That gash looked pretty big. Hopefully, it's not anything serious. But even Chanot, honestly, Chanot wasn't looking too great in the first few minutes he was starting. I think he's just getting back into form because now he's the primary starter. And so, regardless of whether it's Chanot or we end up getting Morales, or do we get Tinnerholm, whatever it is, our defense has just not been that great. So, can we hold the ball long enough? Can we play possessive? Can we put possession? Does Dotti play? And then we have the ball more on offense than we have on defense. And I think that's the key to the game is holding the ball so then you don't give Josef and Luis more chances to score because I think our defense is kind of bad right now.
Yeah, I think Atlanta has like 4 players with 4 goals or something right now. They distribute the ball amongst each other. There's not one main guy that's scoring like for us, Totti.
Yeah.
I think they have 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses in the last 5. Again, we don't know what's going to happen with the Red Bull tomorrow. I don't think this is the same Atlanta team that we've seen over the prior few years.
I think you just see the Atlanta name and you say, "Oh, deadly."
Right.
But at the same time, are they deadly anymore? It's not the team we know.
Correct.
We know.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So I would say I would agree with Danny in the sense that our back line, we need to figure out who will be starting in that back line. I know there's been a lot of change, and I think that leads to our conversation of who's going to be on the starting 11. This is what I hope the starting 11 will be. I have Johnson starting. I have Tinnerholm. I would love to see Tinnerholm back in the starting lineup. Chanot, hopefully. Callens, Amundsen, Alfredo Morales, Acevedo, Maxi. And then I'm going to say Perea instead of Santi, Magno, and Castellanos. What do you guys think of that lineup?
I think if Chanot can start, then I think that's the right lineup. I think. And then I guess you don't start Santi. But if Chanot's out, which honestly I don't know if Chanot's going to be able to start.
I don't think he's playing. I don't think he's playing.
I think you have to put Morales there. And then, you get fancy.
I like fancy.
Put Tinnerholm on the right. Put Gray in center back. And no.
But if you remember early on in the season, the reason I was just thinking that when Javi was going through the lineup, because I really don't think that laceration looked bad.
Yeah.
And the laceration on the shin, I think you need to let that heal because it'll keep opening up. So when you were talking about the lineup, I was like, didn't we say in the podcast earlier in the year that Gray played center? Yeah. So that's the only fix, I think. I mean, who else could we play at center back?
But you do get that if you play Gray, then you can't play Maxi and Santi and Pereira. So you'd have to.
Well, we don't
bench
want. I didn't. Say,
you don't want that.
I didn't say Santi starting.
No, I know.
I said Pereira starting.
Yeah.
No.
But that means we have Santi on the bench. I just can't imagine that though.
But he said Santi on the bench from the beginning.
No, I know, but that would be tough. So I'm saying if you play Morales, then you could play Maxi, Santi, and Pereira. Does that say Morales on the bench? If you have Morales playing center back and you take Gray and put him.
Oh,
on
you're
the
talking
bench.
about Alfredo?
Or are you talking about
Alfredo?
Oh, you're talking about
You put
Alfredo. Yeah, now
on
that clears it
center
up.
back,
Okay, now that makes sense.
And you don't play Gray at all,
Right?
Because you have Tinnerholm start,
Right.
Then you can play Maxi where Parks is.
Yep.
Santi at the 10, and then Pereira on the right.
One thing I would say is Maxi has played the last 2 games full minutes, and we're in a 1 week span. We played Sunday, Wednesday, and now we're playing another Sunday game.
That's true.
So Maxi might be gassed out, and I think that goes back to our conversation about Nick Cushing against Cincy. He had some subs that we would say, hey, wait, why are you subbing this guy out? And it could have been because these guys are playing such a tight schedule.
That's true.
So will we see Maxi Morales the whole game?
I disagree, Javi.
Okay.
A very wise woman I know mentioned to me, Javi at 2 point. I was mad when Magno was coming out of the game.
Yeah, he was.
This kid's 19 years old, dominating the game, scoring goals now. I know he's struggled throughout the season, but he's scored his goals in the last, few weeks, right? Last month. He comes out of the game, and then Pereira, who had an amazing game tonight, he's coming out of the game. He's another young guy. It's not about how many games we're playing, because there's no way Maxi could play all game every game.
I agree, but I would say Magno was like the man against Philadelphia Union. He had to hold possession all the game. I think at one point he counted how many defenders were in front of him. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. He's like 1, 2, 3. He was so frustrated. I know Maxi played 2 full games, but it's because Magno was holding the ball. Magno was running with the ball. Magno dominated that ball against Philadelphia Union. So you gotta admit that he's probably gassed at this point.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing how much. I know what you're saying, and it's a little different being out there and being out there with the ball on your foot.
Yeah.
And how much running he's doing. I don't want to wonder like I'm doing tonight. Now, I wasn't focused on just Magno to say maybe Magno was really tired and he was slowing down and he wasn't making those runs maybe. I don't know. But if he was able to go, I would have liked him for that last 20 minutes when we were tied. I'd rather have him out there.
Yeah.
And Thiago didn't show me anything special tonight. I think he had one nice run on the left side. And I didn't know if he was maybe in the doghouse.
I think
Cushing.
Yeah, he's definitely been in the doghouse. I think Nick Cushing definitely wanted to show him, like, you do something like that red card you did with the Red Bulls, you have to learn a lesson. But granted to him, I think he apologized to the whole team and apologized directly to Nick Cushing after the game. So it is what it is. Are we having a betting with Buzz segment? We really can't. The line's not out yet.
Yeah, we checked, but. We checked on all sites too because we want to give you up to the date stats here and numbers. But we don't know what it's going to be. It's probably going to be negative money. But you got to take over the 2.5 goals. We had over 2.5 goals in 30 minutes tonight. All right? The game.
Granted, none of that was NYCFC,
right.
But it was over.
But we're taking for the game. We're taking for the game. And then, who would have known? +8? That would have been like crazy.
You would have been rich.
We would have retired. We would have,
We would have stopped the podcast. At that point, we don't need this anymore.
He's kidding. We love the podcast. We do this because we love it.
We do it for the $0 paycheck.
Yeah. The eventual one day YouTube revenue that will come in.
Final predictions. Who do we think? What do we think the final score is going to be? Danny, start us off.
Damn, I always feel so much pressure starting off, but I'm still not feeling great about Nick Cushing. Although I do feel great about this game, I do think this just came from like the team being able to survive.
Agree. Yep.
But Nick Cushing still has me a little off. So to be safe, I think I'm gonna go with a 2-2 draw.
You and these draws.
Yeah, he likes it. I think he sees like the
plus
plus
money. Actually won money
today.
Last.
Not only that, but I bet a draw against, or my prediction against Philly was a 1-1 draw, and if it wasn't for the 90 minute
and 6 minutes, right?
Then we would have been a draw. So just throwing that out there.
This game will not be a draw. This game will be a 2-1 victory. NYCFC at home. We're gonna be there. Yeah. So I go 2-1. I think Atlanta puts up a fight. We're not at 100%. I think we edge him out, and Mr. Cushing gets his first win and hopefully a smile. You?
I'm gonna go 1-0. I think we finally get a clean sheet. Hopefully our defense steps it up. Tinnerholm will be back. I feel like either he's gonna start or he's gonna sub in. Regardless, he'll be back. He's playing for his newborn. And he will assist in a pass to Tati Castellanos, who will score.
He's going to be over his illness?
Prediction.
I predicted Tati scoring last game, too, and he did do it. Granted, it was a penalty kick, but we'll
take it. Well, hey, it's not so easy after tonight, these penalty kicks, right?
Yeah, Tinnerholm back. I predict a big game from Tinnerholm again.
Ooh.
Let's go. If you like the channel, please, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Any final words, guys?
It's always darkest before the dawn, right? Isn't that the famous line from Batman?
It is.
We're about to have some sunshine and rainbows, all right?
Yeah.
I predict we're going to go on a little run now.
We need it, bro. I was just thinking, like, the Green Day song, Wake Me Up When June ends.
A little remix.
Yeah, June needs to end. We lost our head coach.
Oh, my God,
We lost Keaton Parks. We lost almost every game we played. we need June to be done.
Yeah.
July starts the rebirth of our team.
I like it.
Back into this playoff run. Let's go.
Let's get first place back.
And the rebirth starts with the birth of the new #1 NYCFC fan, Olivia Tinnerholm's baby.
Oh,
wow.
Full circle.
Tinnerholm.
Episode done, boys.
Yes.
Laters.
Thank you.
Peace. He said thank you again.
I said thank you again every time. Why do I keep saying it?